All right, Tuesday, May 6th, 2025, the Lion Channel. I'm John. Um, what I want to talk about today, as this is my manifesting journey, I want to talk about like one or two exercises that I actually just thought of today that have helped me. And I think this is day 5, and this is why I guess I started this channel and making these videos, because as you progress along this journey, or as I've progressed, I could see like how a month or two from now I might forget like what got me to that eventual point. Like I'm starting to forget some things that have gotten me here that just happened like 4 or 5 weeks ago. Like, I know I said, I was sharing yesterday and saying how I just kind of like the first thing I did was I started falling asleep in the wish fulfilled, like using the law of assumption and acting as if I was that person. But before I found David, and before I started applying certain techniques, I did find Brendan Wood's manifestation first. And he was talking, and the very first exercise I did, and this was at the low point of my depression. Okay, so I was almost watching this video because I thought it said something different, like how he was going to prove that the law of attraction didn't work, because that's how that's how much of a dark place I was in. Because as I said previously, I had been using the law of attraction for 2.5 years, and I wasn't really getting much out of it. If you want to see what I talked about as far as that, I think you could go back to like the first or second video. But so that's the only reason I clicked on this video. And so as I started watching and he started talking about the law of assumption, I don't know, I started to see it differently, because the law of assumption was a little bit different than the law of attraction. And the fact that, the law of attraction is like you're trying to attract things to you. Where the law of assumption is, you're kind of acting as if you already have it. But before I even like got upon that and started practicing the law of assumption, he gave me this technique. And so he had talked about like your thoughts are creating your world, and how he didn't use the word simulation. He said 3D is dead. And at first I didn't know what he was talking about. But what he's talking about is everything you're seeing out in front of you in your exterior world is just a production of the thoughts and feelings and the inner talking that you've had going on previously for the last months or years or weeks or whatever. I'm not sure how long, but that's what you're seeing in your world. And as you continue reacting to what you're seeing, what you react to, you recreate. So if you don't like your outer world, yet you keep reacting to it and giving it negative emotions and saying this shouldn't happen and this, and playing the victim, you're recreating that. Like that's going to continue playing, and you're going to keep seeing those same things. So that's where he kind of like, and then he gave me this exercise, and he said in his video, he says, just, 5-10 minutes is all this takes. Just close your eyes and just watch your thoughts. Okay. Don't judge them as wrong or right. You just watch them, and then just, like they're not you, because they aren't you. But at that time, they were me. Okay, so I was able to just close my eyes and just sit back and I just started watching my thoughts. And my thoughts were 9 out of 10 thoughts. As I sat there for 5 or 10 minutes, 9 out of every 10 thoughts were fear, doubt, worry, insecurity, all negative. Okay. And then I would get like one thought that would come in on, like, maybe my daughter smiling or my wife smiling that day, or, somebody did something nice for me. But 90% of my thoughts were negative. And so at that point, once I discovered that, and I was able to step back and see what was going on in my inner talking and what he was saying, that the inner world is creating the outer world, I opened my eyes and looked around, and I'm like, wow, okay, that's an awakening. I guess I will try this law of assumption, since that's the next step. And so that's what I did. So, and I've already talked about that, but I wanted to share that initial exercise that actually got me into, opened me up to, okay, I'll give this law of assumption a chance. Because when you're able to close your eyes and see and hear your thoughts and what they're saying, and then you hear that your inner talking and what's going on in here is creating your world, it's a lot easier to believe at that point. And so why not give it a shot? I thought, I can't feel any worse than I'm feeling right now. So fast forward, here I am. There was also something else that I wanted to share today, was that I talked about on Sunday that my wife and I were playing some drinking games on Saturday night. And we don't drink all the time. It's just, occasionally, you wake up the next morning and it's like you forget you're 48 years old, and, you drink like you're 21. And so that's kind of, I got caught up on Saturday night. And what I'm realizing is that something came back to me today, an awareness that I had last week. And going into Saturday, before I, had some drinks on Saturday night, was the awareness is the simulation, okay? This 3D world I was becoming over the last couple days. Started taking it seriously again. Whereas previous to Saturday, I had this new awareness, because I've been using the techniques and falling asleep in the law of assumption. I had this new awareness, and awareness is almost like it's a new power, because when you can see it as a simulation, it's one thing for me to say to you that this is all a simulation, but it's another thing for you to actually believe it and know it and apply it in your life. So I had gotten to the point where it's almost like I was able to detach from it, like almost completely, to where I wasn't reacting to anything. But over the last couple of days, I've noticed that that power had subsided a little bit, and I was reacting to certain things that I hadn't been reacting to last week. All right, so this is definitely a lesson for me to, because this feels too good to have anything, to do anything like that, and, take away my perspective right now. I just don't want to mess with what's going on mentally, because I know that I'm changing my world. All right. So that power that I'm talking about, and the new awareness that I have, is I'm able to look at this as a simulation. And if I see something that I don't like, or something that is, maybe in the past would have made me react a certain way. I take it as information, and this is what David suggested. Just take it as information, stay as calm as I can when it's happening, because when you're able to do that, as I said, when you react and you give negative emotion to something, you're recreating. So whatever you're reacting to like that, you're recreating, and you're still going to be trapped in the simulation. So I look at it and I'm like, okay, I know what's happening here. I know this is a simulation. And then when I have a chance, I'll close my eyes and I know that I'm creating in here. This is just the end result out here. So when I know that I'm creating in my mind and imagination, I'm able to then go and what just happened, I give it my attention and my imagination, and I totally see it how I would want it to happen. And so at that point, I didn't react to it. And then I'm going in here, and if that comes up in the future, now I'm going in here and I'm editing it to the version that I want to experience. So that is the awareness and the power that was taken from me over the last couple of days because of the drinking and the alcohol on Saturday night. So that's a learning experience for me. So I have to, make some adjustments there for sure. The last thing is I haven't mentioned my health, because my health has been my health is one of the top things. Like, that's where I strive the most. So I don't really ever think about improving my health, because my health, I've been a personal trainer for so long, but I had this before I started doing this shoulder here. I couldn't do this. I couldn't reach up. And so I couldn't do any shoulder exercises. And now, over the last 4 or 5 weeks, this has healed magically. Okay, I've had this pain here where I couldn't lift this up since August. Okay, I went to the gym and I was doing a bench press, and something happened, and boom, and it had been hurting me ever since, to the point where some nights I would roll over on it the wrong way and it would wake me up. But now I just did 20 pounds the other day. Okay, so it was on my list again. Things are just happening like that. And there was a couple other things health, small health things that seem to be just taking care of themselves also. Okay, so as I was saying yesterday, the internal world is changing, and the person that I've been thinking of and acting as if I'm already that person that has all these things, material things that I want, that's the person that I'm becoming. And so, when that happens, all the other things, the external things that give you that temporary, I guess, gratification, they're on their way. So that's it for today. So I wanted to share that. Actually, one more thing I did. I said that I joined David's school on Friday, and I had a meeting today, I guess, with one of his co-workers. And, it was a 15-minute meeting, and seemed like a really nice guy, and the community is, I'm enjoying it so far. So I'll continue to share my experience there. And probably in the future, I can't see anything changing, but probably in the future I'll start sharing his school link, because I love it. And like I said, I'm seeing all these changes. So, and this channel is about helping people. So why not share, what's helping me? So that's it. I love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. See you.